Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. It's kind of cool to know that your predictions come true, and it's kind of a bummer because some of the things that I've seen that were coming are going to be destructive. So, yes, I laugh at it because we have useful idiots, useless eaters. What else do the Luciferians call them? I don't know. I guess they're useful to the Luciferians because they protect them. And a lot of these people are Satanists that are, involved in these demonstrations. As you guys are going to see, they're, as we've already seen with Don Lemon and his crew, they came into a church service. They don't like Christians. They don't like churches and so forth because they're Satanists, right? Above them are the Luciferians, right? So the Satanists are Luciferian wannabes, and they do evil, and they figure that they do enough evil that Luciferians will accept them, right? But the Luciferians are like, no, we just want you to stay down there and block for us, right? So it's funny to me because these people are like protesting for rapists and murderers and illegal. What part of illegal don't you friggin' understand, right? For illegal aliens that are here in the United States doing criminal activity, taking money from taxpayers, it's like useful idiots, morons, idiots, stupid people. God, it's like, what the heck, right? But that's the way it is because we're in another cycle. We've talked about this in other shows. You look at, the horoscopes and the alignment of the planets. Of course, the planets do have gravitational pull, and we're also in an alignment where many years ago, back in back during, I guess, the Civil War times, or maybe a little bit after that, I don't know exactly when, 165 years ago or something, we had Carrington effect. Now, the Carrington effect was a massive blast from the sun. We had one that was very close a little while ago. And you see what it did to the weather patterns? Oh, boy, right? So the East Coast is getting hammered with crazy snows that they haven't ever seen before in a lot of places. They're like saying, we haven't seen snows like this in 20 years. No, in some places they've never seen snow like they're getting. And cold weather that is pushing all the way down to Cuba, freezing temperatures all the way down to Cuba, in the Bahamas. Hello. All right, so we're definitely seeing some massive changes. Now, why is that? Because human consciousness goes through periods of, deterioration and then rebuilding, right? Deterioration and rebuilding. So the useful idiots, are out there, protesting, rioting, and so forth, because we're going through, because we didn't learn from the last one, another little civil war. It won't be as bad as the last one because the last one, was pretty intense. We learned a little bit from that, but not enough, I guess. So now we have more stupid that we have to work through. And these people are like NPCs, non-player candidates in like video games. We've talked about this for years now, and everybody's laughed about it, but up to 80% of the population is NPCs. Wow. Like soulless creatures that are just kind of wandering through life, getting in our way as we're trying to advance spiritually, right? Because we could take down these evil Luciferians very quickly, very easily, if we didn't have this massive wall of stupid to get through. Wow. All right, so let's look at some of this satanic useful idiot activity that's out there. Protests happen all across the country over the weekend. I think as things get warmer, back to normal, then we're probably going to see even more useless idiot activity, right? So here's some of it here. Businesses close and demonstrators march in cities across the U.S. in anti-ICE general strike. So we want our rapists. We want our pedophiles. We want them to stay, all right? Stop getting rid of our pedophiles and rapists and murderers, you bad ICE people. These are useful idiots. How else can you describe them? How else can you describe these absolute, incredible, moronic, stupid ass people? It's insane to me. Insane. It's so ridiculous. Protests across the Trump administration, protests against the Trump administration's immigration crackdown were held in cities across the U.S. on Friday in a mass demonstration of public outrage. Outrage. Don't send those criminals back out of here. All right. We love our illegal immigrants. Immigrants, like they're cool and nice. Immigrants. They're taking our taxpayer dollars, and for like a decade, the Somalis been loading up suitcases full of our money and heading back out to Somalia to fund terrorism. Dozens of businesses closed their doors, and tens of thousands of demonstrators were expected to take to the streets from Los Angeles to New York, where the typical useless idiots congregate in massive numbers, right? In the cities. I've said this for, I think, 5 years, because I saw this a long time ago, that we would see massive protest, just like we saw with George Floyd. I said George Floyd riots and protests are just a fraction of what's coming, and that we would lose many big blue cities, right? So, you've heard me for years say, get out of the big blue cities. So we're down to the wire. They're starting. Of course, Minneapolis is not letting up. The people of the Twin Cities have shown the way for the whole country to stop ISIS's reign of terror. We need to shut it down. Let them murder us. We love it. We love to be murdered. Stop it. Stop the ICE. The organizers of Friday's National Day of Protest wrote, the strike was endorsed by nearly 30 organizations of super idiots across the country, from labor unions to immigrant advocacy groups to student organizations. Even in California, they were letting schools out to go, the students to go protest. Get your kids out of schools, right? Get them out of those woke idiot schools, guys. Protests are scheduled to persist into the weekend in Minneapolis, which has become the heart of the anti-ICE movement since the fatal shootings of residents Renee Good and Alex Pretty, as well as in other cities around the country. All right, so of course, Minneapolis, hundreds of demonstrators gathered Friday morning, blah, blah, blah. And you see all the useful idiots here on a massive scale, with all their signs made up by some Soros group. Trump told reporters on Thursday that the administration would not be pulling back its immigration enforcement efforts in Minnesota at all, despite comments that White House border czar Tom Homan made the same day, indicating that a drawdown of federal agents was planned. Now, it's only planned if the regular police forces get involved so that they can cover for the ICE agents, because they had to bring in extra ICE agents just to do a simple arrest, where it normally take 3 or 4 people. They had to have 15 to do crowd control of stupid people, right? Useful idiots, right? You can use that term. Go ahead. I will let you, right? When you see these people, you can tell all your friends, look at those useful idiots, right? And it's what it is. It is what it is. President Trump wants this fixed, and I'm going to fix it with your help. I don't think you're going to get that, Mr. Homan. who took over federal immigration operations in Minneapolis last week, said at a press conference in Minneapolis on Thursday, blah, blah, blah. All right. So we're looking at everything that would shed light on what happened that day, blah, blah, blah. So it's just going to accelerate, guys. We're going to be in a mini little civil war in these cities because of the useful idiots and NPCs, right? In New York City, protesters gathered in Union Square on Friday afternoon, holding cardboard signs printed with the help of George Soros funding, signs in winter clothing, cheering and singing chants against ICE with their despicable, disgusting, chants that are, children shouldn't be hearing, but they're doing it anyway. Hundreds of people turned out in Foley Square in Lower Manhattan, which lies across from the local ICE headquarters and was the site of a planned rally on Friday. The city's mayor, communist Zoran Mamdani, who has vocally backed abolishing ICE, showed support. Of course he did, because it basically takes away from his criminality that he's already probably starting to do, right? So that's really why these Luciferians, the Democrats are Luciferian, that want this to continue, right? Obama, I remember seeing Obama. He was with the Larry Ellison and Mark Zuckerberg, and back when what was it? Bill Gates was there, and also who's the Apple CEO that died of cancer. He was still alive back then, but he was hanging out. All of them hanging out. Google, all of them, all of the tech Luciferians, basically sitting at the table, toasting to Obama, saying that you're one of us, and after we do this toasting, we're going to go do some sacrificing, right? So this is what they do, and they keep each other, in the loop. They have their little covens, and they have their, very Luciferian things that they do, and they're controlling our AI system and all of our internet and so forth. Wow. I think we need a really good Carrington event to basically just knock it all down. I think that's going to be God's signal. It's like, yeah, I'm going to protect you from the Luciferians. All right, dozens of local businesses announced their plans to shut down Friday. New York City, Seattle, Denver, Austin, Washington, Austin, Texas. You were like, Austin, Texas? Yes. All right. I've talked about Austin for a long time. All the way back to, the George Floyd riots. I was warning that Austin was going to go off the charts with their rioting. And people got back to me and said, yeah, thanks for the heads up, and we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. It didn't. All right. So, yes, I think that, and I talked to my buddy, Scott McKay. He talked about how they bust in all these demonstrators, and, the Cowboys showed up and kicked their ass while the police watched. All right. So there's still some good old boys in Texas, and who knows, maybe they won't let these Luciferians, take control. So good luck in Texas, the Republic of Texas. Hope you guys maintain. All right. So crowds of people came also to participate in the day of demonstration in Los Angeles. They had a lot of protests in Los Angeles, shut down buses, shut down a freeway, burning a big dumpster fire protest. And, so it's back. Los Angeles is back. They want to destroy themselves. So it seems like I saw somewhere where President Trump was like, you know what? We're just going to let them do that. I'm paraphrasing. We're going to let them basically destroy their cities. And if they want our help, we'll come and help. But otherwise, we're not going to go help them. All right. So just like I said, we're basically going to cordon off these big blue cities that are the worst and let them destroy themselves. Right. And why? I don't want to go in there and help stupid people. satanists and useless eaters. Why would I want to go on and help them? Right? They're going to just destroy themselves, and then it'll just make it easier for the rest of us, I think. Right? So yeah, you know, I'm a realist. I'm a military minded guy. It's like, let the enemy destroy themselves. Right? So they are the enemy. We're at war, and they're the enemy. Right? I mean, some of you bleeding hearts out there will be, oh, they're just, you know, misguided. Yeah, but they'll still kill you. Right? They're still going to kill you if they get a shot at you. Right? So top far left Democrat, Luciferian protesters, Satanists, because they're not Luciferians, only top guys like Obama, Ellison, and all those guys are Luciferian. But top far left Democrat protesters make up to 100,000 a year. Yes, 100,000 a year. These communists, they talk like they want to, like, you know, just share the wealth with everybody, and the billionaires, which they're not going to touch because they're the Luciferians they want to be like, are going to continue to keep their money because these useful idiots are out there, and they're going to pay them what they're worth. And then once they get complete control, that money's going to go away, and then they're going to be sitting on the streets like the other homeless, and no one's going to care, right? No one's going to care. And that those of us that could have helped them, you know, we're not. We're going to let them fester in their cities, kill each other off, probably cannibalize each other, and that's the way it's going to be. All right, so here it is. Top paid protesters earn 80 to 100,000 a year. The wingnuts are especially in demand, right? So I'm not the only one that's like throwing slime at these guys. They're being used to destroy our institutions. The leaders want the country to fall. They get flown all around the country. So this is from El Cajon Mayor Bill Wells. George Soros, that's funding these operations. These people are being paid 120,000, he's saying, a year to be paid protesters. Yes, you'll fly to other cities and stay there and put your body at risk of fighting the federal government. There's an anarchy happening. Syria is speaking there. Now, the radicals are now taking over Target stores. So here's the useful idiots in Target. Now liberal white boomers are now out in full force, taking over Minnesota Target stores, because most black people aren't in on this. All right, they were told, you demonstrate during George Floyd, and we're going to give you like reparations going all the way back to the Civil War. Do you know that there was a lot of blacks that actually owned slaves back during the Civil War? Yeah, that's right. So are they going to go back and look at those people that maybe are descendants from those slave owners, and are they going to have to actually pay into the system to help blacks that were actually slaves? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it was just full on, you guys ride for us and we're going to hook you up. And they never did. They never did. So the black folks are like, you know, F you. We're not going to jump into that. We're getting wise to you, Democrat a-holes. So imagine being so worthless, such a useless eater, that you spend your Saturdays singing songs in support of child rapists while harassing shoppers at Target, right? So, you know, useful idiots. That's what they are. And they love to be useless. So let's let them be useless. And that's the way it's going forward. Let me see. It's not what I wanted. Now it's stuck. Yeah, get on that other one. So I wanted to go back on that. So go back to that page, por favor. All right, 34,000 Minnesotans volunteer as ICE watchers since Renee Good shooting. All right, so that's a lot of useless idiots. All right, useless eaters, useful idiots. Anybody else got any terms that we can throw at these idiots? Somebody got something good? I'm gonna look at it. I pray for the innocent ones. Yeah, absolutely. More than 34,000 Minnesotans have signed up to, be ice watchers, right? And observing federal immigration. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot of people that are going to protest and cause problems. So they have encrypted messaging app Signal that coordinates their ice observation efforts to track and document the movements of ice and customs, and then they show up, very quickly and start to give them hell, right? So tensions have continued to run high in Minnesota as activists mobilize. So again, they're paid from $80,000 to $120,000. They travel all around the country, and they cause problems, right? So, and then the people there in Minnesota that have been compromised mentally, consciously, and they're like, let's go protest. Let's not work today, and let's go protest. All right. So was this all the places where these people work? Did they say, yeah, we're all on board with that. Go ahead and take the day off and go protest and destroy our state and go to Target so that no one wants to go shop there anymore. Yeah, go ahead. You think so? I don't think so. Right. So most of these people don't work anyway. So they're just looking for an excuse to be useful idiots. Right. So, and I'm like, okay, be a useful idiot if you want to be, but don't impede my progress as far as advancing my consciousness and getting to the point where I can be at one with God and so forth. But I guess these guys don't care. All right, so they basically came in and caused a lot of problems for people that were, let me see if I can get this one. Riots everywhere. So I clicked off on that, and I didn't want to click off on that. Let's see if I can get it back. Go back. And I was just going back to 34,000 knuckleheads. All right. There was one where, let's see, was that it? It's one where they were basically, this reveals the truth of Muslim migration. God, where did I find that? They were coming in and basically, this has got to be it. I think it was further down. There we go. Okay, I got it again. I have so many little videos to show you guys, and sometimes I like to stack them. So here's now. This is sad to me, and this shows you that these are satanic Luciferians that are involved here, guys. And I'm not making these comments to be, cute, right? I'm not a cute guy, right? I don't do cute. Right? Insurgency. ICE Watch determined multiple ICE agents were attending a church service and dispatched insurgents. When the service ended, the Christians were harassed and attacked as they tried to reach their cars. This is a spiritual war from the left. So they're leaving church, and here you have the useful idiots out there, the satanic ones that want to be like Luciferians. They're out there blowing their whistles and honking their horns, and just like they do the ICE demonstrations. Now they're starting to attack Christians. That's become their new thing because they want to look cool to their Luciferian handlers, and this is what they're being given to do. Imagine these people are like so sad. These people are like, what's going on here? I'm just coming out of a church service. They're young people. I don't see any kids here yet, but imagine you go to church. I remember going to church when I was a little kid. Imagine coming out of a church and having this awaiting you. And then you have police and ICE agents and so forth basically protecting you so you can go to your car and drive off. What the heck? So the police are holding them up until they can, cordon these useful idiots off so that these people can, safely transit to their vehicles. So as they're going past these people, and I think this is happening in a lot of places, unfortunately. Somebody's down here. I think there were some comments. Maybe I'll have to go to the actual X account. I will in a minute. So there's people are saying they had their 11-year-old son, and people were yelling hateful things like, "How dare you, brainwash your child?" Like, what in the heck? This is like freedom of religion, but not for the Luciferians. They don't want freedom of religion. They want us to basically abandon our faith and allow them to take over. It's not going to happen. So that's why we will go into a mini civil war, and we will push these fools into their big blue cities, where it's the only place where they control things. From those big blue cities, they've been controlling the vote, so they're stealing the vote, so that we can't get good people into office to basically overcome this. So they have complete control of the vote in their big blue cities, and are completely surrounding them are those of us that are very spiritual, connected to the earth and God and the angelic realm, and then you have these very hateful, satanic, useful idiots.
Go straight across, watch your step. Watch your step, go straight across.
So here's some of the comments. I wish I had taken a video. Protesters singled out and shouted at my oldest son, 11 years old, yelled stuff like we were effing brainwashing him. This made me cry.
This is crazy.
All right, so things are spiraling out of control. Mars, the planet Mars, which is the god of war, is very much moving into closer to the sun. All right. So as he moves closer to the sun, things start to heat up. Right. So there is over the next couple of weeks, there will be an intensification of this negativity from these useful idiots, unfortunately. But we've known this was coming. We talked about this coming for years. We prepared you, and we're moving into that environment now. So it has to be the fall, Revelation and all that kind of stuff. It's basically coming to the point where the evil ones are basically going to be destroyed, and those of us that are of higher consciousness move forward. Now, this is one of those things where it gets a little harder to comprehend. You have to stay, how I've talked about being in the love vibration. Now, my wife took a picture. We have the snow melting around our house because all of the crazy cold weather that we normally get is, in the middle and the East Coast right now. I guess it'll come back at some point. But the massive amounts of snow that we had, geez, almost a month ago, we haven't had any rain or snow for a long time. So where it's melting, it melted in where we live on a hill, mountainside, really. So on it is where it's melting, and it's melting into the form of a heart. Because how I say, and the two of us are very much, in that love vibration. But you must be, we just went through January, as you know, that was a very troubling month. Now we're moving into a period where we're going to see things that are going to manifest. They're going to manifest very quickly. So you have to stay in that open mind, right? And if you're not in that open mind, then things are going to get very dicey for you. So if you live in fear, you're going to attract fear, because I've talked about this for years. I've done events about this, and now we're moving very quickly into this, where I said, imagine if what you thought manifested when you thought it. So a lot of people will be in a lot of trouble if that happened. And that's what we're going to see with these useful idiots. And they're going to manifest that. And then there's people that just want to bust their heads, and they're probably going to manifest that. And that's not going to probably work out for them either. But if you look at, your consciousness and how you're focused, that's the main thing that where you need to be to manifest the world that we have all dreamed of is coming for us, right? And I'm not speaking like, flowery, this is, you've heard this BS from people for a long time. It never seems to work. It's going to work now, right? It's going to work. It's very, very much importante that you maintain your focus on what you want to manifest in your life, right? So if you're focused on that, then you get hearts that show up in your yard like that. It's pretty crazy, right? But that's kind of the way things are manifesting for many of us. We're going to continue to see the manifestation of a beautiful world, even as those crazies are going to do their thing, because it's like another reality that they're pulling in. It's like another timeline. They're going to be living on a very violent, negative timeline, and we have to keep ourselves free from that, right? We have to protect ourselves from that. You don't want to go charging into that. If you're in like downtown LA, and that's you walking out of a church service, like Mike said, get out of the big blue cities, right? Because that's not going to last too much longer, where those people will be allowed to just walk freely to their car. Well, they're protected, but that's not going to, because those officers are going to be fighting some other events, other places, and they're not going to have the opportunity or the chance to protect people like that anymore, guys. Right? So it's going to be up to you to protect yourself for a little period of time, or position yourself so that you're not in these areas. So of course, all around these big blue cities is red zone, right? And when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan and a lot of other places, the red zone was when we left our compounds, or safe green zones, and then we went into the local communities where we knew there was baddies and that were going to try and attack us. So the opposite of that is really those blue zones are no-go zones. And, outside of that is the red zone, where we basically have everything, right? We have a beautiful, magnificent, all around these big blue cities, right? So position yourself. I know some of you just keep saying, and I understand if, you're popo and you can't get out of those places, or you don't have any friends that will hook you up, or I don't know, it's like no relatives, no friends, and you're stuck in these big blue cities. I pray for you, right? I pray for you. You need to pray for yourself, and stay focused, stay positive, right? So maybe the right thing will come along and, extract you or put you in a position where you're safe, or maybe you're going to be in a little bubble and everything is going to be destroyed around you. I don't know. So you look at a lot of other cities that have undergone this, like you look at Ukraine right now, those cities are unbelievably destroyed. So now, is there going to be combat on that level in these big cities? I don't think it's going to be quite on that level. I think these big blue cities are going to be, because they're going to try and come out and do their thing outside of their little domains of evil, and we're not going to let them. Right? We're not going to let them. And then within our communities, there are going to be some of these people, and they'll have to go to the big cities. Right. So if they're going to be stupid, and that's just the way it's going to be. Right. So now, will we have, these crazy, the sun's going crazy because we're very connected to the sun, God, everything, the planets, connection, right? Plants, animals, your homes, water, everything, your bodies, everything's connected, right? Everything is of God. And as you understand that, and you keep your focus on that, and you stay in that love vibration, then you're going to be, pretty much directed to be in certain places where you're going to be safe and so forth. But there could be, because we know that the AI is for the Luciferians. Remember, the Luciferians basically control pretty much, to a great extent, social media. Even though I can come in here and put out information within this, they're allowing this so that we think we're safe and we're good. All right. So, and maybe at some point we take it over. I don't know. But at some point, they want AI to control everything and us. Right. And that's not going to work out. That's not going to work out so good. All right. So AI is I don't know. Maybe the Carrington event is going to happen, and it's going to basically, just squash the, internet and social media. And I don't know. I don't see it happening, but there could be some disruptions. At some point, the AI, I think, gets disrupted from the path of completely controlling us. I don't foresee that. A long time. I've never been, intimidated or fearful of AI whatsoever. I'm like, whatever. Can it be a problem? Obviously. And going forward, will it be the thing that comes in and basically takes over? If they get that opportunity, if they do get that opportunity. Now, the Carrington event, there is possibly going to be within the next couple of days another very serious Carrington event. And of course, I'm going to defer to Stefan Burns because he's the expert in this area. So he talks about this. He talks about how you see, as you're looking at the screen on your left, there's some, some activity that's going on with the sun. So is our connection with the sun going to, have a positive effect going forward? I think a lot of things are going to be revealed, like we're seeing. I think the reveals, like we saw in the last month, it's like, how long's it been? Like 5 minutes? Okay, what else is going on? Because it's been like so many things. I'm like trying to keep up with what Trump's put down. It's like I can't. It's just too much. And trying to keep up with, all the other things that are going on. It's like just slamming. It's slamming. And if you're an emotional nutcase, then you need to learn to not get so attached, right? Build up your emotional intelligence, and it won't affect you. Now, you see all those useless idiots out there are pretty much very emotional, right? Very low emotional IQ. Now, you could have unbelievable IQ, according to them, because they went to the woke colleges and schools and so forth. They're highly intelligent, and they believe that, their poop doesn't stink because they're so smart. But they have super low emotional intelligence, which is basically canceled out all of their analytical processing of stupid that they learned, right? Stupid things they learned that are useless because most of them don't have jobs. So that's where we're at. A lot of those useless eaters, useful idiots are pretty much, stuck in a cycle of stupid. They see stupid, they do stupid. All their friends around them do stupid and say stupid, and they're just stuck in stupid, right? They're in a super stupid, and it's disgusting for those of us that look at it and go, how can they not see that, right? And if you try and, clue them up, they get emotionally, like little children, very incensed, don't they? All right. So will we have some kind of event where, like Stefan Burns is talking about, the planets are lining up just like they did during the last Carrington effect? Wow. Because we know that the sun and the planets do have an effect on us. If you don't understand that, work as a bouncer in a bar during the full moon. Right? I can tell you, it's cray time, right? So some people get all lovey and they go home with like beautiful people, and then some people don't get that and they go cray, right? So it's kind of like that with a lot of things right now. Are you loving, or are you a cray? So I think we see most people are cray right now, and this is why.
Hello and welcome everyone. I'm your host, Stefan Burns. Today we have a lot to talk about. We've had some incredible developments with the sun over the past 24 hours, really actually just the past 16 hours or so. And
now, Stefan, I've never seen him like this. You can tell he's visibly shaken. And I can tell you over the last couple of days, I've been whacked for the last couple of days. So there's definitely some cray energy coming in, right? And I'm very sensitive. So when it gets cray, I'm like, oh dang, I get affected. I'm an empath, intuitive, and you name it. When things get wild, then Mike's like, oh. So you can see that with Stefan. And Stefan at the end, he was like, I was going to do Q&A, but my stomach hurts and I never had this before happen, and I'm going to go out and ground myself. So you could tell during this, he feels he's very empathic too.
And I've never seen anything like this. Let's just say that. I haven't been doing this for 30, 40, 50, 100 years, but really this whole field, this space weather is pretty new. We saw some really explosive development with the sun back in April and May of 2024. And that led to the Mother's Day storm or the Gannon storm, that long duration G5 storm. We had sunspot group 3664 that was on the sun, that was equivalent in size to the Carrington sunspot. At that moment in time, it did not give us a Carrington event. Thankfully, what we have happening right now with the sun is honestly very similar, and in some aspects, it's looking more significant. We could have a Carrington event in the immediate future, a modern Carrington event.
All right, so let me read to you what this phenomenon could bring. Satellite operators are possible. Satellites could be knocked out, and actually, because they're knocked out, they could plummet from their orbit, and that could be a problem. So this goes all the way back to 1859, superstorm that destroyed telegraph wires and illuminated auroras over Hawaii. Modern civilization would be confronting severe consequences. Could trigger widespread power outages across continents for weeks, devastating hospitals, water pumps, ATMs. Wouldn't be able to get any money out, but if you got silver, you'd be good. Satellites could plummet from orbit. Like I said, GPS could vanish. Trillions and economic losses could follow. According to NASA projections, a scenario far more catastrophic than the 1989 Quebec blackout. All right. You guys in Quebec maybe could clue us up on that. I don't remember that, but I guess I could search in history and there would be, I could see that. Europe's recent simulation depicted a grim scenario, a complete breakdown of e-communications and no AI. Good, maybe. Navigation paralysis and supply chain disruption. So it underscores our fragility, and that could happen with the modern day Carrington event.
It's possible. The conditions are there. Does not mean we will have one, but all the factors have aligned such that it could happen. And in fact, if we look at some of these outside influences, for example, planetary resonances, planetary alignments, the conditions now are almost identical as they were back in 1859. So we have a lot to talk about today. All this flashing you see on the screen is what's happening right now with the sun. It's quite dramatic. I'm just pulling up a graphic to show you guys, showing you a comparison. Is watts per square meter, 10 to negative 9, 10 to negative 8, 10 to negative 7. Okay, you go on. So this isn't that significant.
All right. So he's basically what he's talking about here is, and last, if you go all the way, we can map this all the way back. And every time that we've had significant, X-class flares and so forth, there's been a ramp up. So from the last X-class flare that we had, where he and I both said that we could possibly have a Carrington event, but it was negated by the energies of the Earth. That could be because we put that information out, and those of us with good consciousness that are not useful idiots maybe had an effect. Right. So that is a possibility. Maybe that possibility of canceling out will happen because we're putting this out again. As we're going to start to work together, we're going to start to see this more and more, guys. Right. I used to tell people how we could push storms, and we started pushing storms and so forth. Consciousness does have an effect. Go to any course that I've ever done, and events that I've done, and I basically bring people up on stage and I show them the effect of their consciousness on their physicality, right? Muscle testing. So it does have an effect, and I can have people with an audience send them energy and will have an effect on them. So, projecting yourself and Faraday caging yourself and all kind of crazy stuff like I do with LifeWave. I have an X39, X49 on me during the day, and then an Eon and some other patches on me at night, which basically protect me from, impulses that come from the baddies, right? Because they're always trying to take me out, right? And I'm an Archangel Michael boy, and so they don't always have a very good effect on me. In fact, it boomerangs back to them when they do that kind of stuff to me. So they don't mess with me as much. So here's more of a graph where he talks about how, in our last big pop that we had back in earlier this year, 111 angelic number, 2026, 4, 10. So that's another one. So 4 ones. How about that? And 1111. So we basically had a big pop, but it didn't have much of an effect. And so then he goes in and he talks about how we're ramping up. See this ramp up? It's a lot more energy that's already happening here on Earth right now. And so if we get a spike from the sun, it can have a more negative effect, right? Closer to a Carrington type event. Now look at these sunspots. Let's see, right here. Wow.
In this intermediate region, this core keeps getting bigger. There's so much mixing happening here. Now, if I zoom out a little bit, let's reset the view, and we're at the end. I'm going to set this up for you guys so we can track this across time. Okay.
He's going to time lapse it.
So I think now if I go forward, yeah, here we go. So I'm just going to put this on play. All right. We're going to watch 4366 develop over time. It's already becoming a pretty significant sunspot group. I'd say right around this zone is where the sunspot we just had that gave us a near Carrington level impact was. We'll look at that one too. That was just back on, again, January 18th. So we'll just go back a little bit after this and check out that sunspot to see what that gave us. Look at that growth though. Look at that development. This is not normal. And there's so many different signs too that are pointing to this, but look at how this changes. Like just the movement of these sunspot cores is so crazy.
So in the next couple of days, this, as you see it here, it's growing very rapidly. It can be in a position where if it lights off, we're probably going to get a Carrington event, right? So he goes into that a little bit more. He also goes into the planetary alignments, as you're seeing here. Very, very similar to the 1859 Carrington event, right? Basically, if you go back in time, which he did, it lines up with basically the way the planets are lined up right now. So very, very interesting. Now, so again, the planetary alignments, like I talked about earlier, Mars and all that crazy stuff is basically putting us into, a very strong possibility of accelerated. Somebody take that BS out of the comments. Okay, I'll do it. Ban user forever. Bye-bye. All right. So if we continue to see these events like that, it's going to continue to build up energy. Now we're also moving in within the next couple weeks. I watched several different astrologers and so forth, and they said that we're moving into increased earthquake. Could be some very violent earthquake activity. We've seen in Italy where this one whole town is basically collapsing. It's been there for a long time, and it's just collapsing in on itself. 24,000 people are probably going to have to leave this one, city in Italy that's imploding and collapsing. Crazy stuff. So a lot of this stuff is happening underneath the Yellowstone caldera, massive caldera that blew up and just wiped out probably the Earth for a little while, everything on the Earth. It has a city, it's the size of Seattle, is what I saw. It's basically burping, not burping like expelling, but burping just under the surface into a Seattle-sized bulbous, right? So it's very interesting things that are happening right now. So everything seems to be on the verge of cooking off, right? So we could see some very significant earthquake activity in the next couple of weeks too. So again, consciousness could have a positive effect. Now, the first bank failure of 2026 has happened on Friday. And it said Metropolitan Capital Bank and Trust, which was closed by regulators due to concerns over its financial stability. I guess depositors aren't affected. It was absorbed by another bank. Now, this is a Chicago bank. Get out of Chicago. So that's going to get destroyed in a lot of different ways. But this is in the second year in a row where a major bank in Chicago has failed. Right. So last year was another major bank that failed in Chicago, and early in this year, we've had our first bank failure. Now, is that going to be the start of many? I believe so. I believe we're going to get some significant activity as far as like bank failures. Now, let's also look at the price of silver. Silver, I'm looking at it right now. I was looking at it and I was like, it needs to go above this level to be good, and it has gone above that level, right? So those of us that are in silver is in a long-term bull market, not bear, bull market. It's going to continue to go up. So those of you that maybe have been a little slightly nervous about the pullback, this is a buying opportunity. Again, this will go much higher. It will be, I'm very convinced it will be a $500 silver this year, right? Before the end of the year. So as you see here, it's going up. All right. So this is a normal pattern that we see from silver. You see where it basically went down right here. This was the low on Friday, and it went down. Looks like it might have tested that. I hope so. Hope it doesn't go back down and test that. But it looks like it's building a nice little launching point. So you see it went up to, what was the high today so far? Let me see. Pull this little baby over here. The high today so far has been 88. So I was like, if it can go, you see these peaks right here. I was like, if it goes above 87, which it has, it's gone 88. That's going to be good action. And we could see this continue to go higher. Now, will it blow up like it has been? No, it's probably going to go up and, go sideways again. This is what silver does, but it's not going to be long-term like it used to be. It would take months and a year or so before it would take off. Now it just seems like a few days, hours sometimes before it really takes off. So we'll probably see it get back towards $100, I think, this week, maybe even more. I don't know, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Now, my predictions have been spot on for silver. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you might remember during COVID, I would say in a week from now, there's going to be this many people that are going to be on the death list. And my numbers were like spot on. It was like crazy how accurate I wasn't. I just tapped into it and just predicted it, and I was spot on for like months. So also in October of 2019, I said we're going to see a stock market crash that's going to go to this number, and in 2020 it went to within 100 points of that number, right? So have uncanny ability to see these things. I've really been locked on as far as the silver price. So I believe it's going to go up significantly this week, but it could go down too. So if it goes down, it's just another buying opportunity, because this thing is definitely going to continue to go up, guys. So long-term investment. Now, the other investment that I know probably quite a few of you guys are in is the crypto space. All right, crypto space not looking so good. Like I said, I believe it's going to pull back and take a little breather. And because this is what crypto does, it goes into crypto winter and it pulls back like 4 times from its high has been the normal pattern of it. So that's going to put it down around, I don't know, 30,000, maybe lower. If we get a major stock market crash like I predict, it could go even lower. So if you look at the price, which I'm going to show you here in 1 second, it's basically doing what I talked about yesterday. So if you watched my show yesterday, you know that I talked about the potential for crypto crash. All right. I felt that it was imminent, and it looks like the head and shoulders pattern that it was building is pretty much, you see the head, shoulder, head, shoulders, knees and toes. So if you look at basically it's, doing the same thing on the other side, the shoulder pattern, right? So it came down, it tested that. Now it kind of looks like it might be bouncing. So I don't know. You never know. It could be, it doesn't want to collapse yet, right? But at some point, I believe it will. So as you guys can see, it looks like it went down and tested. It didn't exceed it, so it went down and tested that low that it had yesterday. And now it's starting to creep back up. The low today was 76,542. Yesterday it was 75,555. And it seems to be wanting to, stay higher. Now, if you go back 52 weeks, 52-week range, it's 74. So it came close to the all-time, to the low. So crypto, Bitcoin, has not moved at all in a year, right? Whereas silver has gone up tremendously, right? And it will continue to go up tremendously. So I would recommend not putting your money in crypto, guys. But, it's up to you guys. You choose your investment platform. I'm just here to give advice. I'm not an expert. Well, kind of I am. But I'm not an economist or haven't been to schools like Dr. Kirk Elliott. He says the same things I do. So he's got degrees. He's like a doctor. He's got 2 doctorates. So one is in ministry, in the spiritual place, and the other one is in economics. So how about that? A man of God that gives us advice on the economy, and he says get into silver, right? So we've been saying this for years. It's not going to stop. In fact, we're only in about 2 to 3 years of this bull market, and we normally a bull market in silver and gold goes on for a decade, right? So we still have 6-7 years left of upside. So don't fret. You'll see pullbacks, sometimes pullbacks. Sometimes they'll be significant, sometimes they won't be. So stay involved, and you'll be happy. Just like a lot of you guys have been happy with me and my predictions already. So good. All right. So this is just kind of like what Nino does is in What the Fuck News. All right. So I'm not going to start my own What the Fuck News, but sometimes I look at stuff, I'm like, what the fuck? So this is one of those. All right. So I heard from someone that Nino interviewed. I'm going to have them on as well. Talk about the Luciferians and all that kind of stuff, satanic stuff. Despite Macron's denial, magazine shares photos of Brigitte as a boy. So let's go back in time. There's now some people are saying this is Brigitte's brother, trying to dissuade people from seeing that Brigitte is or was a boy. Definitely not is now. Now, this is the thing that is the WTF, what the, thing. Right? Now, I guess Candace has been all over this. She's been, talking a lot of stuff. She talked about a lot of stuff. But anyway, she really did a lot of research on Brigitte. And Brigitte is definitely a man. Now, I think there's a 20-year difference between Brigitte and Macaroni. And Macaroni is, drum roll, Macron is the son of Brigitte, all right, the man. Wow. All right, so that kind of blew me away. I was like, WTF? And my wife was like, you didn't know that? I'm like, what? Like, you knew that? Like, geez. All right, so there's some crazy stuff that these Luciferians do, right? And that's one of them. So I guess the father and the son are pedophiles. Pedophiles. What the heck? Oh my God. So some of you are like, yes, it's the father. And some of you guys have known this, right? You didn't tell me, right? Gail Banser. Is that Gail Banser? Yeah, Gail Banser. Right. So yes, it's his father. Look, Macron, I am your father. Oh yeah. Yes, somebody just Jamie. You said it right when I said it. That's good. I'm Darth Vader's father. That's what you got to do, right? You just got to laugh at it. Laugh at them. They hate it when you laugh at them, and you call them out. Oh, you're his father and his kind of something wife. Like, what is going on with you guys? You guys are weird. Right? You Luciferians like go off on really crazy tangents, right? So I don't know. I think we need a good Carrington event to like just shut it all down. I guess I don't know. I don't want a Carrington event. I think we can work through stupid, work around them, and of course there's going to be let stupid go to the big cities and destroy themselves. Right? So just like when they did the castle. They basically, surrounded the castle and wouldn't let everybody out of the castle. And they take like the catapults and they catapult like decaying animals and diseased animals into the fort. I don't know. So Trump is a literal. Oh, somebody just take that out of there. So we got the trollers in there. Come on, you guys. You guys supposed to be taking care of that stuff. Where's my peeps in there? That's supposed to be taking these people down. Do I got any peeps in here with shield mavens and stuff? Yeah. I don't see you, so I guess that's why I'm taking stuff down. So, all right, guys. We eat trollers here. That's right, Mary. Very good. Mary, you want to be you want a wrench? Because it looks like I don't have any wrenches. Well, nope. There's Truther Mike. Uh-oh. Yeah, Truther Mike, come on, man. Take those trollers out. If I can see them, that's too late. It should be done. All right. So, and somebody's like, Trump's a bit of whatever. In your wildest dreams, you would wish, right? So, and that's the way it's going to be. We're going to get the useful idiots come in here and make their stupid little comments, right? And that's just the way it's going to be. Uh-oh, that's right. Drew the mic. Uh-oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye, you. All right, guys, lots of love. Stay in the love vibration. Lots of trolls tonight. I must have put out a lot of good information then. So it's good. All right. And you probably you guys have been taking them out like crazy, and I just happened to see one. So I don't know. All right. Thanks to all my wrenches out there. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. See me pretty much every day, don't you? Multiple times a day. So I got some pretty good shows coming next week. So just be ready. Be ready for crazy stuff next couple of weeks, guys. Just stay frosty. Stay frosty. Stay cool. All right. Lots of love. Stay in love vibration. And I will see you guys next time.